Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing Marvel Champions once again, and on deck today we've got Black Panther versus the Rhino. Rhino has the bomb scare modular loaded in his deck, and Black Panther is loaded up with the protection-based pre-built deck that's found in the Learn to Play guide in the core set. We are all set up and ready to go, so we can just dive right in. So we're going to start with our opening hand of 6 cards. So we'll start here. We got Vibranium, Mockingbird, some Panther Claws, Wakanda Forever, another Wakanda Forever, and Tenacity. Alrighty, I'm going to pitch Tenacity, and I think I like the rest of these, so I'm going to mulligan just that one card, and that is a med team. And for T'Challa's, he has a Foresight setup ability where it says I can search my deck for a Black Panther upgrade and add it to my hand and then shuffle up. So I'm going to go and dig for... I'll know it when I see it. Come on here. The Energy Daggers. Okay. So that is the card that we're going to take for ourselves from his singular setup ability. So that's just a one-time setup ability. It's not like I get to use that every turn, unfortunately. Or at least not every turn that he's in alter ego mode. But yeah. Okay, so that will be our opening hand plus the setup. Oh, sorry, and I should probably read this. The break-in, the main scheme. Rhino is decking a shield facility. So we're all loaded up. The break-in, Rhino is trying to smash through the facility wall and steal a shipment of Vibranium. You must stop him. So it's a very straightforward opening main scheme for the Rhino. The Rhino encounter here. So I think what we ought to do is let's just get going here. I'm going to flip over to Black Panther's side right away. I'm going to spend this Vibranium to put in the Energy Daggers. And I could... You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend... Yeah, I mean it's nice, but I really like getting set up with all of Black Panther's his upgrades here. So I'm actually going to spend these 2 resources to install his Panther Claws, and then I'm going to pay a Wakanda Forever to play a Wakanda Forever, and when I use Wakanda Forever, then I can use the upgrade cards that I have in play here. So I can choose to deal the damage to a villain. So I'm going to use the Energy Daggers first to do 1 damage. And then I use the Panther Claws second to deal 2 damage or 4 damage if this is the final step of the sequence, which it is. So that takes him down to 9 health. Black Panther is going to attack for 2, down to 7. So that is everything I can do this time. So I'm going to ready up and deal myself 5 cards. So we got an Indomitable, a Counter Punch, a Vibranium Suit. Ooh, that's nice. Another upgrade. An Armored Vest, and another Wakanda Forever. Perfect. So the counter punch is after a hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. Probably not going to use that because we just started here, and yeah, I've got full health. So now the villain phase is going to start. A threat comes down to the main scheme. Rhino is going to attack. I'm going to take it head on. So he's going to do a base of 2 plus 2. So he's going to do 4 damage to Black Panther. So that's going to take me down to 7 hit points. And Black Panther has a Retaliate 1, which means every time I get hit, I hit back for 1. So that's nice. Takes him down to 6 health. And a counter card comes down. It is a Hydra Mercenary. The Hydra Mercenary has Guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. So that was the whole phase of the villain phase. So now we are on to the hero phase. I am going to spend 2 cards to install the Vibranium Suit. Vibranium Suit allows me to move a damage from my hero to an enemy, or 2 damage instead of this is the final step of the sequence. And I'm going to pay this Armored Vest to play the Wakanda Forever card. So now I need to kind of math this out a little bit. So the energy daggers choose a player, deal 1 damage to the villain and to each enemy engaged with that player, or 2 damage instead if this is the final step of the sequence. So obviously I want to try to get the minion as well as the an attack against Rhino. So why don't we say let's do move a damage from your hero to an enemy. So I'm going to move a damage. I'm going to go up by 1 and put a damage on the Hydra Mercenary. I'm going to deal 2 damage to an enemy, and I'll choose to do 2 damage against Rhino. Oh no, I can't. He's got guard. This guy's got guard. So then what I should do is I'm gonna use the 2 damage against this guy. So I'm using the Panther Claws to do 2 damage against the Hydra Mercenary, which takes him off the board. And then as the final step of the Wakanda Forever, I'll use this card, which allows me to do 2 damage if it's the final step. And that will be 2 damage against Rhino. So now he goes down to 4 hit points. And I'll attack him for another 2. That takes him down to 2 hit points. And that is everything I can do. So we're going to ready up here, and I'm going to draw up. So we got strength, we got the power of protection, another armored vest, Luke Cage. That's a nice ally, and a med team. Okay, so that's going to be our hand for next go around. First thing happens is a threat comes to the main scheme. So now there's 2 on there. Rhino's going to attack. I'm going to take it as damage again. So he does 1, 2, 3. So doing 3 hit points worth of damage. 1, 2, and 3. And retaliate causes him to get hurt by 1. And then I need an encounter card, which is Shadow of the Past. Reveal your set-aside minion and side scheme, which is the Usurp the Throne side scheme, and Killmonger is the set-aside Black Panther Nemesis minion. So now we need to get these cards thrown in here, and we're going to shuffle it up. So that kind of puts a wrench into things a little bit, but yeah, it's still early. We're still pretty early in this game. I've got 3 of the 4 upgrades, the Black Panther upgrades in play. No allies, but hopefully we can change that here in a second when we get hopefully Luke Cage from our hand onto the board here. So one thing that's interesting about Killmonger, the arch nemesis of Black Panther, is I cannot damage him with any of my upgrades. So I can't use those Wakanda Forever cards to use my upgrades to actually damage him. So that kind of puts a wrench into that a bit. This side scheme is going to start with 3. So Usurp the Throne says, the renegade Killmonger is leading a coup to seize control of Wakanda. It's got the hazard icon on there, which means an additional encounter card is going to get dealt on every villain phase going forward, unless I take care of that. And now, let's see what we can do here. So like I said, I think I should put Luke Cage into play. So I'm going to do just that. Luke Cage here, I'm going to pay for him with this strength card and this power protection card, which counts as 2 resources for a protection card. Luke Cage has toughness, so he starts with a tough status card. He's got 5 hit points, so he's a nice bit of a sponge there for yeah, for getting hit. I've got 2 cards left in hand, so I'm going to spend this med team to install this this armored vest upgrade, which gives me +1 defense. Now, I think what I need, okay, so I could do one of 2 things. I could thwart with Black Panther and Luke Cage to get rid of that side scheme, or I could attack, take him down to 1 health, so he would still live to see another day. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to thwart for 2 and thwart for 1. Now, the tough status, next time your character would take any amount of damage, well, he takes some self-inflicted damage from the thwart. So this actually removes the tough status card. Don't take a damage, but that is for the thwart. So the 2 + 1 is 3. So that gets rid of the usurp the throne side scheme. Now we do still have to deal with Killmonger, but we will get there. Now that's all we can do because my hand is empty. So we're gonna ready up. And we are going to draw a new hand of 5 cards. We got Nick Fury, we got a Counter Punch, we got Wakanda Forever, there's an Avengers Mansion, and Shuri. So that is what we're dealing with. So Wakanda Forever will sure come in handy. After your hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. That might be handy against Killmonger to maybe take him out in one go. So I think maybe that's the that will be our plan of attack here. Okay, so villain phase is starting. A threat comes down to the main scheme. Rhino is going to attack. Now this is also interesting because he's going to attack, and if Black Panther takes the attack, he's going to retaliate for 1. He's also got 2 attack. So theoretically, with a bad boost card, I could end up getting knocked out here if I'm not careful. So you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to defend with Luke Cage. As much as I really don't want to do that, yeah, gonna have to. So Rhino attacks for a base of 2 + 2. Okay, so Luke Cage is actually going to take 4 damage. He's actually going to live through this. Boy, it would have been nice if he retained that tough status card, but oh well. He's got 1 hit point left, so he'll live to fight another day. Killmonger now is going to attack, and I'm actually going to take that as damage against Black Panther. So what's going to happen here is I can use my counter attack. Oh, sorry. I guess I should need to defend against it. So if he does 2 attack against me, I could defend. I could do 2 attack back at him, plus the 1 for retaliate, which will put him down to 2 hit points. But my team is exhausted. Oh, that sucks. Oh, maybe I should have thought that one through a little bit more. But okay, well, you know what? Because I would use up one of my resources for this turn too. What have I got? I got Nick Fury. You know what? Forget that. I'm gonna take it as damage, and Nick Fury is going to come in here and he'll take care of some stuff. Okay, so Killmonger is going to attack Black Panther for 2. I'm gonna take it as damage, 1 and 2. Black Panther retaliates for 1, so he does 1 point of damage, and then now an encounter card needs to get dealt with, and that is when revealed the villain schemes. So Rhino is going to scheme for a base of 1 + 0. So now he's got 4 threat on the main scheme. I got to be mindful of that because 3 more and it is lights out for me here. So let's be smart about this. And I can't even play a Wakanda Forever because I'm going to put Nick Fury into play. And I'm going to use all 4 of these as resources to do so. When Nick Fury enters play, I can do the 2 threat from a scheme. I can draw 3 cards or deal 4 damage to an enemy. So I could... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so he's going to deal 4 damage to Killmonger, which will take out his remaining 4 hit points. And then, well, I guess Nick Fury then takes the damage. And then both Black Panther and Nick Fury... Oh, no, sorry, he doesn't take damage for that. That's just his built-in thing. But both Nick Fury and Black Panther are going to thwart. So now he does take a damage. They each thwart for 2, which takes care of all of the threat on the main scheme. And down to 0 now. He got 3 hit points left. I'm definitely flipping over to Alter Ego side. That's everything I can do. So we're going to ready up and draw our hand of 6. So we got Black Widow, a power of protection, an energy, a genius, a vibranium. Oh boy. And another vibranium. Oh wow. That's a lot of resources and not and not anything I can really do with them. So cool. Okay, so now it is the villain's turn. He single threat comes down to the main scheme first. Now he's going to scheme for a base of 1 plus 1, so 2. So let's actually just swap this out. So 3 threat on the main scheme. An encounter card now is going to come down, which is Ritual Combat Treachery. When revealed, discard the top card of the encounter deck, then choose to either deal X damage to your hero or place X threat on the main scheme. X is 1 more than the number of boost icons on the discarded encounter card. Now, X damage to my hero, I'm in Alter Ego mode. So I'm going to discard 1, and that's 2 boost icons. So that means X is 1 more. So I'm going to put 3 threat on the main scheme. Whew. That's close. That's 1 off from game over here. And we are still in phase 1 of Rhino. So we gotta do something here about that threat. Nick Fury goes away at the end of the phase that I put him in, and now it is on to T'Challa. And I was going to recover 4 hit points, but I realize now that I don't know if that's a good idea because we're not in a good spot here. I'm going to flip to Black Panther's side. I'm going to put Black Widow into play with us. And I'm going to pay for her with... Boy, oh boy. Every one of these is worth 4 resources, or 2 resources each, because I have the Power of Justice card. So I guess I gotta overpay for this by 1. So I'm going to pay the energy and the power of protection to put her into play. She has an interrupt that when a card is revealed from the counter deck, I can exhaust her and spend a genius resource to cancel the effects of the card and then discard it and then reveal another card from the counter deck. So yeah. So I got 3 resource cards in hand. I'm going to keep those for next round. But for now, what I ought to do is I'm going to thwart for 1 and 2. So that's going to do 1 damage to Black Widow. That will take care of 4 threat off the main scheme, leaving 2, which I'll put down here. And Luke Cage I'm going to keep just as he is because he's got 1 hit point left, and I'm going to use him to block on the next attack from Rhino here. Like I said, I got the 3 energy cards in my hand, so I'm going to draw 2 more to complete my hand for next. Oh, there's a helicarrier, which would actually come in very handy, and a get behind me. When a hero interrupt, when a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its 1 revealed effects. The villain attacks you instead, which again, I'm low on health, so that's not ideal. Okay, but I still can't forget about Black Widow's ability there. that I can spend a genius resource, which this is one of those. So I could look at doing that. Okay. First thing that happens on the villain phase now that we're into that is threat comes down the main scheme. Villain's going to attack. Luke Cage is going to jump in the way of that. And Rhino does 2 + 1, which is 3. Well, Luke Cage is knocked out and he goes bye-bye. Now an encounter card is going to come down. And let's see how good or bad this might be. Treachery. When revealed, discard the top card of the encounter deck, then choose to either deal. Okay, so we know what this one's about. I am going to not allow that to happen. And how am I going to do that? I could have the villain attack me instead, but no. I'm going to exhaust Black Widow, spend this genius resource to cancel the effects of this card and discard it, and then deal another card from the encounter deck, which is a bomb scare. Okay, so reports are out that Hydra agents have planted a bomb in a nearby hotel. When revealed, place an additional 1 threat here, and it's got an acceleration icon on it. So this starts with 3 threat on it. And where exactly were we? Yeah, we were at the encounter card stage of the villain phase. So now we are on to the main part of the hero phase. And yeah, again, I kind of wish I would have held on to that Avengers Mansion just to get that additional card draw. Because, yeah, this is not great. And she being exhausted... Can't do anything with that. I'm going to spend my genius and a vibranium to put in this helicarrier. So that will allow me to have a free resource every turn to do something like hopefully play a Wakanda Forever card. I'm going to keep this vibranium in hand for next turn. And now I can... I can take some threat off of either the main scheme or that side scheme. And I think if I take it off and I switch to alter ego mode. Okay, so I'm going to thwart for 2 and take 2 off of the main scheme, the break-in. So doing so, now I'm going to switch over to alter ego mode just for that additional card draw. And I think that's all I'm going to do, or I can do rather. I've got the vibranium in hand, so now I'm going to draw up to 6. There's Tactical Genius, Wakanda Forever, Get Behind Me, Ancestral Knowledge, and Emergency. Okay. When the villain schemes, reduce the amount of threat placed on the scheme by 1. Okay, well, let's keep that in our back pocket here because that might come in very handy here in a second. Okay, so villain phase starts. A threat comes down on the main scheme. Rhino's going to scheme for 1 plus nothing. The boost is give the villain a tough status card. So he gets a tough status card, and that was 1 scheme. I could choose to use that one, the emergency card, but I'm just going to put the threat of the main scheme. And now I deal encounter cards, thanks to that bomb scare. So first off, we have an assault. When revealed as a hero, the villain attacks you. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm alter ego. This villain... Oh, this card gains surge. Okay. Attached to Rhino, enhanced ivory horn. This gives him an extra attack. So he's got the tough status card as well as an ivory horn. Okay. Next one is false alarm, treachery. When revealed, you are confused. Okay. So I cannot thwart until I get rid of that, which is not ideal. Okay, and that completes the villain phase. And now I'm on to my hero phase. And let's see. Ancestral Knowledge is neat because I can choose cards from my pile here and shuffle them into 3 cards and shuffle them into my player deck. That's actually going to extend myself out until I have to draw another encounter card for having to turn my deck over. So let's math this out a little bit, because I can install Tactical Genius with this Vibranium. I can play a Wakanda Forever with this emergency card, and I can use the Ancestral Knowledge to... Okay, so that's... Oh, and I still have the Helicarrier resource, so I actually could retain one of these cards if I wanted to, and... Yeah, okay. Well, one step at a time here. I'm confused, so I cannot thwart even if I wanted to. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to recover for 4. So that will take me up to 7. Black Widow is going to thwart for 2. And that gets rid of her. And I'm going to take it off the bomb scare, so that it's like that. So there's just 1 there. Now I'm going to flip over to the Black Panther side. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so I'm still confused and I'm exhausted. I'm going to pay this Vibranium to install my last Black Panther upgrade, which is a skill, which is the one that I get to remove threat from schemes. So that's going to come in handy in a second. Oh yeah, the Ancestral Knowledge was a side or an alter ego action to choose up to 3 different cards in your discard pile. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. I'm gonna, well, whatever. I'll use my Helicarrier to play the Wakanda Forever card, which is going to... Now that I think of it, it's going to actually be super ineffective because he's only got 1 hit point left. But whatever. I can move damage from my hero. Okay, well, let's start with remove a threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove a threat from the bomb scare. So that's going to cause that to go away. And the next thing, which is the very last thing I'm going to be able to do, because I can only deal 1 damage to him anyways, I believe. Oh, no. Yeah, he's tough. Oh, okay. This works out well. Okay, so I use the Tactical Genius. I'm going to move 1 down. No, I was going to do the attack of 1 to the villain. So that gets rid of the tough status card. So now he is open for an attack. Now I'm going to use the Vibranium suit where I move a damage from my hero to the villain, which will cause him to go down to 0. Now, I believe at this point this counts as my attack ending, because he's going to switch over to phase 2, but I don't believe that I can continue my attack. I think that kind of puts an end to it. That's how I'm going to play it. I'll look it up afterwards. I've never actually had this occur in a playthrough before with Black Panther, but yeah. So that's how I'm going to play it. Feel free to mention it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll add it to the rules goof section in the description below. So, when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the break-in and take-in side scheme and put it into play, and then shuffle the encounter deck. So let's do that. Nope, not in there. Yeah, this is the enhanced ivory horn that he still has. Shuffle those up. Okay, so that will go there. Now, break-in and take-in side scheme's got to be in here. Oh, it's the very first card. Okay. So breaking and taking side scheme goes in, means I'm going to deal myself another encounter card every time. Rhino's hit points for stage 2 is 15. And 2+1 threat goes on the breaking and taking side scheme. And that finishes off the Wakanda Forever. Okay. Whew. Yeah. So, not great. Not gonna lie. Not feeling so good about this. I think I'm gonna pitch all of these. When a treachery card is revealed, cancel its when revealed effect. The villain attacks you instead. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll keep that one, and I'll get rid of these two. So I'll draw up to my hand limit of 5 because I'm in hero mode. Haymaker, first aid, indomitable. Ugh, this is the last card. So you know what that means? A counter card comes down. I get to shuffle. And we're going to see what happens here. And this, typically Rhino is the easiest of the, well, I mean, he is. He is the easiest villain in the game. And usually, every time I've played, battling with him has been fairly straightforward and not usually a gigantic, insurmountable challenge. I do not feel very confident about this battle. I am not going to lie. Okay, now that I got that out. Okay, so that shuffled that up. I have my hand for next round. So now I can ready Black Panther. I can ready up the Helicarrier. That's way down at the end there. And now let's see what happens. A threat comes down on the main scheme. The villain is going to attack. He's going to do 3+1. So he's going to do a base of 4 plus whatever boost card comes down. The maximum amount should be 3 boost icons. I could choose to take it, or I could choose to defend against it, but that means that my next turn I will not have the ability to thwart or attack. But maybe that's not a terrible thing, because I mean, really, I don't have any allies that are here. So what can I really do? I don't even have a Wakanda Forever. Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to defend against the attack. And so he's going to do, and I do have the armored vest. So I do get +1 defense. So I've got that going for me. So he does a base of 4 plus 2. So he's going to, 6 damage is going to be sent my way. I'm going to block 2, 3 of that. So I'm going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, and 3. Now my retaliate ability kicks in, so he takes damage from it. So he's down to 14 health. And now I move on to the encounter card section. I'm going to take an additional counter card. So we're going to go like this and like this. And I'm going to see what this one is. I'm tough. Give Rhino a tough status card. Okay, as if he didn't need any more help than he currently has. Next one is Hydra Bomber, a minion joining the fray here. When revealed, choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. It's pretty dumb of me to put 1 threat on the main scheme, eh? Because there's 4 threat there already. That would be dumb. But if I take damage, if I take 2 damage, I go down to 3 health. Okay, so I'll take 2 damage. I'll go down to 3 health. I'll retaliate against them for 1. So at least I did something there. And let's see what the next one is. Stampede, Treachery. When revealed as a hero, Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. That's not great. Hero Interrupt. When a Treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects, and the villain attacks you instead. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I did have this Indomitable card in my hand, which says, after your hero defends, discard Indomitable, ready your hero. I'm going to say I'm still in the phase of being after my hero defended. I'm going to play this Indomitable card. I'll use my Helicarrier as the free resource to do so. And so I can ready. And then I'm going to defend against this next attack. If I get damaged by the attack, which I most certainly will, I'm gonna get stunned as well. So let's just ride this one out. Let's see how terrible this whole thing becomes. Okay, so I'm defending against Rhino's attack. He's going to attack me for 4 plus 0. I defend 2 plus 1, 3. So I take 1 point of damage. And I get stunned. So I'm confused and stunned. So, yeah. Not great at all. Okay. And there's a Hydra Bomber in play. Not liking this. Not going to lie. What am I supposed to do here? I could use my first aid to heal 2 hit points, which will slightly delay the inevitable. I'm going to pay Get Behind Me and Haymaker to install the Golden City. Kind of running out of room here. Go like that. I'm gonna pitch first aid. I'm gonna switch to alter ego mode. I'm going to tap or exhaust Golden City to draw 2 cards. Oh, no, I didn't. I guess I didn't actually pitch first aid. There's a Wakanda Forever and a Genius card. So yeah, so I got that. Yeah, I don't think that there's too much I can do here. Obviously, I can't play Wakanda Forever because I'm in alter ego mode. I'm going to spend this genius resource to use first aid to recover 2 hit points, because why not? I'm going to keep this Wakanda Forever card, and we're going to deal up to 6. There's Shuri, there's a Vibranium, there's an Avengers Mansion, there's Luke Cage again, and a Vibranium. So I got 6 cards in hand for the next turn, if that happens, which I doubt it. And now the villain phase starts. So 1 threat comes down in the main scheme. Let's turn that into a singular 5. The villain schemes for a base of 1 plus 0. So there's 1 more threat. And that's 6. And then the Hydra Bomber schemes for 1. And wow. Okay. Well, wow. So kind of caught Rhino on a good day, or he caught me on a bad day, and did not survive the encounter. I made it to stage 2, so at least I had that going for me. But that's about it. Wow, that was a bit of a bloodbath. I got my upgrade cards in. Could have stood to use a few more allies in play. Something like the Golden City, if this had gotten out earlier, would have changed a few things when I was in alter ego mode. But not pretty. Rhino mopped the floor with me. So yeah, so I guess I got to go back to the drawing board here. I'm going to take a look around and see if I can change up the deck, change into something better, protection deck, something that might work better for me, and regroup and rebattle against Rhino as the Black Panther for another day. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that one. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.